Matthew Perry, a visionary leader known for his ability to build purpose-driven, agile, and high-performing teams that consistently deliver exceptional business outcomes. With an impressive career spanning nearly 40 years, Matthew has made significant contributions to renowned organisations such as Lendlease, Boehringer, Dulux Group, Orowa, BlueScope, Melbourne Water, Ladd Associates, and most recently with Inc. IT Solutions. Here's a fun fact about Matthew. He spent 10 years as national representative player for Volleyball Australia. We're going to move to our lightning round.
Are we?
Right, so I'm going to spread these out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to ask you.
Oh, really? Okay.
To pick three.
Pick three.
Right.
Okay. Are there good ones and bad ones?
There's some shockers. No, they're all good. So to pick three.
Yeah.
Flip it over, read the question, give us your answer.
I can't read that. Hold on. What is it? A lightning round.
Yeah.
If it wasn't tech, what would you be doing now? If it wasn't tech, coaching. Absolutely coaching.
What kind of coaching?
People coaching, volleyball coaching, learning and coaching, learning and doing and coaching, and setting people up for success. So whether it's tech or not, that's been my career, and I'd absolutely be doing that now anyway. And I'm doing it because I'm coaching state teams and club teams and so on. Yeah.
I love how you related learning to coaching.
Yeah, absolutely.
To me, the best way to learn is to teach, or to coach, to advise.
Nice.
I think it helps cement that learning and takes you down different paths. I think it's very easy to read something theoretically, but the minute you have to bring it to life.
We talk about this, a lot of volleyball mates, about the theoretical coach and the coach that has lived it.
Yeah.
And the theoretical coach, which communities need, but they haven't got the full picture.
Yeah,
they don't understand the full picture, right? And success metrics to those theoretical coach might be the impractical, or it might be score orientated. Whereas the more holistic coach talks about performance and output and
it's interesting.
So it's a good one. Okay, another one.
Yeah, let's do it.
Lightning round. If you could have one superpower, what would it be? One superpower. One superpower. Oh, that's a bloody good question. But I'll put that back, and I picked it up another one. What are the first three things you check when you start your day? First three things I check when I start my day. First three things, the dogs. We've got two dogs, two border collies, Mac and Murphy.
Yeah.
And so they're always on the bed or around the bed or something. So that's definitely one. The second one is with my wife, Fiona. Can I retract that? I'll put the dogs ahead of Fee.
Too late. It's on record.
Can we edit that? The third one used to be how my body is. So one of the reasons I retired was it took me a while to get out of bed. All the war wounds, as it were, of sport. But no, that's it. And draw the blinds and look out and see what sort of day it's going to be. We had a great time in New England. My wife loved the snow. For me, it was made for a great picture. But then you had to shovel it, and I've never been good in the cold. I could have lived in Singapore, not the same job, but lived in Singapore forever. Love that. Have a swimmy at home and so on. So yes, it sounds a bit banal, but the weather as well. So and a third one, not the fourth one.
Superpower is avoiding questions is your superpower.
We're shaped by the feedback we receive. What is the most significant feedback you've received in your career? The most significant feedback. Shaped through sport. Definitely. You mentioned at the start that it didn't talk about it in our first conversation, or I'm going to be drawn upon it a little bit. I understand clearly that it shaped my career. So I go back to my environment, my parents, lifelong learners, always questioning, always having conversations about everything, rarely concluding summarily with an opinion, and being flexible with an opinion as well. So always listening and learning, and some of your comments as well, listening and learning all the time. and that's sport as well, listening and learning and growing, right? All the time. So those are lifelong learnings that I'll never lose. I mentioned my father wanting to get to the hotel in Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam, where the book The Quiet American was written by Graham Greene, and turned into a movie with Brendan Fraser and Michael Caine some years later, right? So to die in that hotel, right, gives you an idea about my motivation as well to learn and grow continuously as well. So
Very good, thank you. I've got a couple of other questions for you.
Right.
What are you most proud of in your working career?
Most proud of in my working career? The wonderful people I've worked with, the wonderful leaders that's produced, and the great output that the success that they have delivered.
Yeah.
So undoubtedly, that's it. The outcome of that is whether it's in the pharmaceutical world or the manufacturing or fast-moving consumer goods or local government or public utilities or whatever it is the output that setting people up for success is delivered. Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
Do you have any career regrets?
Career regrets. I've joined some organisations and experienced those things that I detest. The micromanagement or the overt or covert sexism or racism, which I have no time for, and so experiencing that in some organisations, has been underwhelming. Let's say, right? But regrets? No regrets. Learnings. Lots of learnings.
We tend to regret the things we didn't do.
Oh, nice.
As opposed to what we did do. Is there anything you haven't done that you regret?
Everything I haven't. Well, I'm not dead yet.
Well, all right. Well, the things that you could have done, there was sliding door moments, and you didn't do.
I love Monty Python. My father put me on to Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, and Monty Python.
Job done.
Job done. That's right.
That's right. That's fatherhood right there.
That's right. Regrets? No. Did I achieve absolutely everything? No. But it's a life fulfilled, right? So no, I don't do the regrets. I suppose part of that eternal optimism.
Yeah,
I think, right. And as I said, so you're meeting with Paula O'Toole. Working with people like Paula, an absolute delight. Being employed into an organisation of someone that I employed into Dulux Group.
Yeah,
an absolute delight.
Yeah.
The coaching that I do in clubs and the initial confusion delivered through ambiguity before they take ownership and stand up and become even more powerful athletes, an absolute delight.
Yeah.
So you can see the consistency in my position with this as well, right? Regrets about a game that I played in France or something? No. A CRM system that didn't quite work out in no. I mean,
no.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I'm a big fan of Dr. Steve Peters, if you know him.
Well, you give me two names to look up now, but go on.
So his book's The Chimp Paradox. He was actually the sports psychologist behind the success of the British cycling team.
Oh, well, huge success.
Yeah, huge. So Dave Brailsford brought him in specifically to work on the kind of mental side and the chimp brain, human brain. Anyway, I won't ruin the book for you. But the first thing he does with athletes when he coaches them as a sports psychologist, and he's worked with people like Ronnie O'Sullivan and all these people, is it's just a game of tiddlywinks.
Nice.
Right?
Nice.
Win or lose, it's just a game of tiddlywinks.
It's 1 point. That's right. Context.
And the minute you can disassociate from the outcome, the happier you're going to be.
Perfect.
And that's a cracking book. And there's a second book which I haven't read actually post that, but I think you'd enjoy that one from a sports psychology point of view.
Yes. Great.
What piece of sage advice would you give to the next generation?
you asked me something about books and podcasts and so on. So, I mean, I don't. The podcasts I listen to are science, fact, science fiction, humor, all sorts of different stuff, right? I mean, finding your own way of leading, really.
Yeah.
Right? So I can't presume to understand everyone's different circumstance and understand what makes them, what triggers they need, what metrics they consider to be success as well. Because everyone has a different success metric, right?
Yeah.
For some it's a title, for some it's the number of people they manage, for budgets, impact, who knows, right? So I think probably just a higher level of introspection. Some of my peers lack that introspection and become those top-down leaders. Who feel the value they deliver is through their comprehensive knowledge of absolutely everything.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate because they're never going to learn.
I think historically it's been a sign of status.
Yep.
Being the person that makes it, the
That's
kind
right.
of Nero, right?
I know everything. Yep.
It kind of goes back historically in history with what leadership was defined as.
But who wants to work there?
Well, and I think
you've got great people, but they're not adding the value they could.
But I think what we're seeing now over the last 20 years is the way that some of the big tech companies have grown and evolved very quickly with a different way of doing things. And I think that other businesses are starting to take note now. Other leadership models are being developed to encourage that more authentic, vulnerable leader. It doesn't have to be making a decision over everything. And I think if you look at the agility, the speed, the execution of some of the fast-growing tech companies, doesn't mean necessarily they're doing the right thing, by the way, for the world with Facebook and Instagram and so forth. But the ability of those businesses to scale very, very quickly, and what they've achieved and the way that they've fostered their teams.
Anton, there's the answer, isn't it?
It is. That's right.
So you've answered your own question, I think.
Lean into it.
I agree with as well.
You mentioned there, there's nothing specific you read or listen to from a podcast point of view, but is there like a go-to that kind of inspires you around any of that stuff?
The learnings, the multicultural approach. So all of those, my study, the books that I've read, that delivered most value to me when I assumed roles that encompassed multiple cultures were the ones we've talked about, the most valuable ones, right? It's not the technology book or any of that. It's setting people up for success again, and even back in Australia, because we're a multicultural country, aren't we, in Australia? So
enormously, I think it's one of the biggest attributes of Australia, positive attributes.
So whatever the medium, whether it's a book or a podcast or whatever it is, back to your points, because I'm thinking on the fly about your comments just then, and I think I largely subscribe to them, right? That new type of leader, right? So the ones that truly add, value, right? By whatever metric the organisation judges to be success, are delivered through those new models of leadership, aren't they?
100%. 100%. I think so. I feel like I could keep going forever talking to you.
Could you?
You're a fascinating person.
Thank you.
I think you've got a wealth of experience, and I feel actually really indulgent because when we do these podcasts, I feel like I learn so much just sitting with people like yourself. But I've learned.
Well, you've had lots of great guests on. Lots of great guests.
We have some incredible guests, and again, it's interesting just trying to encourage more people to come and tell their story.
Perfect.
Many tech leaders are reluctant because they think, why would someone be interested, or what have I got to say?
Share, listen and learn.
Absolutely.
And you've forced some good introspection upon me as well. The conversation.
And look, it's. I think that's what I try to encourage, because most people don't have to often stop and look back at their own
reflect.
journey. And it's nice being able to do that with people and learn through the process. But you've also inspired me today. I'm going to go and read The Quiet American. I will read it because
what about the French Indochine and the French moving out and the Americans moving in, the communists and the whole story, right? That's But
because I've actually just recently been to Ho Chi Minh as well.
Have you? Fantastic.
A few months ago.
I mean, there's a country doing great things as well. Right?
Awesome.
Just amazing.
Absolutely.
So
thank you for your time. Thank you for being very generous.
Thanks for the invite. I really enjoyed the conversation. Thanks.